Welcome back to Wisdom Warriors, opening with a little bit of creativity and playfulness as we dive into yet another video on the creator's way and creativity. This one is a doozy. This one is on meaning and claiming creative purpose. Let's do this thing. So to start with, my friends, I am going to be reading a little bit from my laptop here, don't mind me, but we are in a massive social experiment right now. There's a crisis of meaning going on, an epidemic of, nihilism, mental health diseases, lack of belonging, lack of community. It is a really interesting and challenging time, and I'm sure you feel the blows of this time. What's interesting is when we look back in history, all of our ancestors, all of our great-great-great-grandfathers would have had direct and apparent meaning before them, direct purpose in life. They would have had a family by their young 20s, right? They would have had a tribe, an extended family to serve, a duty, a role meant for them there, right? They would have had a God that they worshiped. They would have had great meaning in their relationship to tradition, to the religion, to the prevailing faith of the time. We don't have any of that. This moving away from direct purpose and God has created enormous problems in society, and especially for men who are meant to live purpose-driven, purpose-oriented. We see right now that, the purpose or meanings presented to us by corporate society are drudgery. They're trying to make cogs in a system, not truly inspired, unique individuals who are taking their role in a tribe. So many issues have sprung from this abandoning of traditional values, this abandoning of tribe, this abandoning of God. When man is engripped by a becoming, he falls into his basest self, into his lower nature. When a vision, a symbol, a purpose isn't pulling him forward, he will inevitably regress into decadence. This is what we see, a skyrocketing in mental health disorders, drug addiction, so many vices, because we live in a backwards world currently. Back when we lived in tribe, you would have had such challenge as a man all the time. I wouldn't allow another brother to be weak at my side, because it would put my life in jeopardy in battle. It would put my family's lives in jeopardy if he, messed up our hunt. It would just weaken the tribe in general. Everyone would be encouraged to be their best self, and ideally to be their best self and to find their unique expression within the tribe. Meaning would be apparent everywhere. Raising the kids, getting the food, like developing your practices or your reverences or your worship, whatever it may be. There's no direct purpose demanding greatness of us. There's no shared values and traditions of heroic figures, of legendary feats, of great leaders that are inspiring us since youth, right? There's no communal accountability anymore, asking us to be our best self. There's none of that. So how do we reorient ourselves in this new social experiment? How do we go and find meaning for ourselves? Worthy aim. In most of my coaching client work that I do, this is where we start. We mastermind around worthy aim. And if that is something that interests you, there is a free discovery call, link in the description if you want to talk to me one-on-one. But worthy aim, man needs creative purpose, some kind of great endeavor and challenge. Without it, without meaning, he will pursue pleasure and life will start to feel more and more dull. Man is meant to have direct purpose, to work hard. You see, that is why man was built strong, so he can do arduous shit, right? But when he's not doing arduous shit, he just gets weak and vices run rampant and he feels terrible. You see, the average Joe does just enough to get by, and then he goes back home, and to fill the void, he just wanders about aimlessly, consuming pleasures, scrolling, Netflix, food, pornography, dating apps, drugs, partying, you name it. And he doesn't think anything's wrong with that, but he slowly starts to feel like this maybe is something wrong. I don't feel great. I feel terrible. I'm on all these drugs and antidepressants. What is going on, right? The Super Joe, on the other hand, sets his worthy aim. He outlines what is his greatest aspiration in this life, and what is his inkling, what is his mission right here and now. What is either A, life asking of him, or B, what is his greatest inclination towards creativity, towards learning a skill? Like, what is being asked of him right now? He fortifies himself around a mission and builds disciplines into his life. And because the Super Joe has a high aspiration, he aims his arrow high for where he wants to go. He's heroic in aiming. Because of that, that ideal demands growth from him, demands he organizes his life, becomes stronger in character, develops skills, develops and pulls forth resources from his depths so he can move towards or get pulled towards that ideal that he holds. He has a worthy aim, a mission, and an aspiration. Most pray for luxury and ease, and I don't blame them. When you grow up in this system and there's all these pressures, complex economic systems, complex social, relating, really complex jobs, and just a sedentary way of life. Like, we just want to escape from the pressures of life and taxes and bills and inflation and all the bullshit, and just go on a beach or go travel, or The interesting thing about that is I've done that, and I know many people who have, taken the life of, taken that route through life. And it's a beautiful way, and it's fulfilling to some people. But men out there require adequate challenge and purpose in their life if they are to feel fulfilled. Viktor Frankl once said, "What man actually needs is not a tensionless state, but rather the striving and struggling for a worthwhile goal, a freely chosen task." Viktor Frankl was doing all of this logotherapy, work with clients. And he came to the fact that most people had mental illness, most men had mental illness because they weren't pursuing something that they freely chose, that they wanted to do. Instead, they were doing what other people told them to do, or doing nothing at all. And both of those create, a toxic atmosphere inside. You see, we need a why to live for. When we don't have a why, a worthy aim, an ideal, we get bored. And life starts to feel meaningless. And the thing is boredom lands more people in the psych ward, in the rehab centers, in the mental health disorder category, than any form of inherent neurosis or distress in their lives. When we are bored or life feels meaningless, our hero and our greatness slowly goes dormant. When we are not convicted of a purpose, of a becoming, of a worthy struggle, when our will to meaning is frustrated, then we will debase ourselves with pleasure. Man needs a deeper why for so many reasons. And, one of those top reasons is life is going to be fucking hard. It's not easy, especially for men. It's not easy. But if you have a strong enough why, you have the capacity to endure almost any how. You have a why to live for. Really think about what gets your ass out of bed in the morning. What do you live for? What inspires you the most? Is it the high on the drugs? Is it, I don't know. Or is it some kind of mission, challenge, aspiration that is really moving to you, that you're waking up to live and die for? Really think about that. So I've said a lot here in this video. And you may be thinking to yourself, I don't know my creative purpose. I don't know where to move, where to go on that. And that's bullshit. you intuitively know what you are meant or called into. Have you always wanted to learn the guitar? Have you always wanted to start a YouTube channel, be a content creator? Have you always wanted to be a writer? Have you always wanted to be a teacher of some kind? Like, you know, right? And it's just a matter of courage and truthfulness and sincerity to look at that and claim it. I said a lot about the negativity of lacking meaning and lacking purpose, but there's such great purpose ripe for the taking in this society right now. There's a roll call out for leaders and creators, you know, entrepreneurs and artists of all kinds. We need you. So it's up to you to claim that. And by claiming that, you are committing yourself to perilous challenge, a heroic journey, but ultimately a deeper, well-lived life. It's your choice. A worthy aim, once we possess it, and we're so inspired, right? And we're like committed, yeah, I'm gonna do this thing. I'm gonna commit myself to learning this skill or creating this YouTube channel or business. All of a sudden, resistance crashes into our little mental utopia with a resounding boom. It's just like, no, you know, 3 days in, you quit. It's too hard. You don't know what to do, how to do it. Once we have a worthy aim, once we set a purpose, a mission, a creative endeavor in our life, we need to cultivate the warrior spirit, the heroic ideal. And most of all, we need to learn how to do deep work and discipline ourselves. This is what the next video is about. I hope to see you there on this creator's journey. This is Wisdom Warriors. I'm Christian. If you guys want to talk to me, there's a free, I offer a free discovery call, link in the description below. I love working with creators like yourself. Furthermore, please like and share this video. It really helps get the message out there. I'm just starting up this channel and I appreciate all the support you can give. Thanks for being here. I'll see you at the next one.